Today we're talking about Leopard and some problems.
No reason.
And we're looking at the South African built Leopard 42. You're not going to want to miss this. When I think about big catamaran companies, I always come to Lagoon and Leopard because to me, for a long time, they've basically been the same thing. But are they? Lagoon is owned by Beneteau Group and they've been around building cats since 1984 and stationed in France. But Leopard, they aren't owned by a big boat manufacturer or some boat company. Instead, they're owned by a travel company called Travelopia. Travelopia specializes in tourism and happens to own Sunsail and the Moorings, the yacht charter giants that rent out sailboats to travelers. In need of a lot of boats, Travelopia partnered with Robertson & Kane, a shipyard that builds multi-hulls in South Africa. Quickly, Robertson & Kane started pumping out multi-hull boats for the Moorings and Sunsail for the rental program. But there was an opportunity to also make some boats to sell to private owners. So Travelopia got into the boat manufacturing game and created the brand Leopard. And that's not been without controversy. The YouTube channel Travel Sketch is a couple who bought a brand new Leopard cat and took possession in South Africa and sailed it across the Atlantic, only to find all kinds of build quality problems, from leaky hatches and chain plates and deck hardware to full-on delamination and welds that were about to break.
This is the worst new boat I've ever seen. Literally.
Literally. Like, it's just outrageous on a new boat to have spots like that.
Basically what they do is may or may not try to vacuum glass the boat.
Yeah, it's vacuum resin infused.
Exactly.
In the...
So it's possible. The plastic could have a leak there. What does boat mean to you?
We live on it. It's our home. What do you mean?
I think you should sell it.
Really?
Not to mention lazarettes constructed just out of resin and gel coat with no fiberglass at all. If you're a prospective buyer, I'd urge you to go watch their videos and visit their website. They even had an ultrasonic scan done of their boat and found several fiberglass and welding failures and posted that report for anyone to download it. I downloaded a copy and was shocked at the delamination and broken welds on this basically brand new boat. They also posted an email from Robertson & Kane basically saying that all the damage was normal wear and tear from taking the boat across the Atlantic. Once, when it was brand new. Travel Sketch goes into lots of juicy details about their 42 that would give me pause, so it's worth you having a look-see. But we got on the brand new model recently and I wanted to show you around. This is the Leopard 42 from the boat show, and on the surface, it looks good. This 27,000 pound cat is 23 feet wide with an LOA of 41.5 feet. She gets 2 Yanmar 45s and 159 gallons of diesel to make some longer trips. And water tanks for this new model have been moved and reduced. On the older boat, the best-selling Leopard 40, they were 206 gallon tanks and mounted up ahead of the mast. But this new 42 moved them down into the hulls to keep the weight lower and reduce the boat's tendency to hobby horse. And they shrank them down to 174 gallons because most people have a water maker now. And while Beneteau's Lagoon, if you look closely, is moving the mast aft every year in favor of a bigger headsail and smaller main, but Leopard hasn't bothered and instead leaves the mast forward for a huge mainsail with a square top to push this boat along. Couple that with the 110% headsail, a cruising speed of 8 or 9 knots is fairly normal. The mast height on this boat is 67 feet, makes the ICW off limits in a couple of places, but the draft of just less than 5 feet means lots of anchorages will be accessible and Bahamas sailing will be a breeze if that's on your agenda. The 42 has what looks like a boom vang, but it's not really a tool for trimming the main, but rather this one is for keeping the boom from hitting the coach top. Keeping the boom up is important because, like her two larger siblings, the 42 has a lounge on the cabin house where people can sit up top. This L-shaped seating area is like a rooftop cockpit to sit outside and enjoy the weather. The exterior styling of this boat has adapted to the modern appearance of the award-winning Leopard 50, which features continuous hull-side windows, a continuous hardtop, and what has quickly become their signature, that upper lounge area on the roof. In creating the new 42, Leopard catamarans stuck with their successful formula, which includes the combination of designers Simonis and Vogt and builder Robertson and Kane. The construction is the same foam core vacuum infusion, but it's topped by a one-piece cabin house now, which is a departure from the three-piece, three-section tops on the predecessors to this boat. Leopard likes to do this front door thing too, where you can walk right through the cabin, out the front of the cabin house, and up some stairs to the trampoline on the front. Something you don't find often, and a cool feature provided it drains well if water gets in here, and we're told it has sufficient scuppers. The interior design has adopted the styling that was developed for the award-winning Leopard 53 Power Cat. With modern contrast, indirect lighting, and classy finishes, this Leopard 42 brings a bit more luxury and elegance to the Leopard range. All the bunks now, too, the beds, are island berths that allow access from both sides. Basically, they've cut the bottom corners off to make an angle there. With windows everywhere there's a space to put one, natural light flows in a lot. This is a 3-cabin, 3-head model, and all cabins include their own private ensuite head, and all 3 heads include their own designated shower area. The word of the day in this boat is modern. Every finish and corner and surface is delicately designed to be modern and classy looking, with tons of built-in amenities like fridges and freezers and microwaves, and all of the stuff is name brand, high-end, and all of it expensive. The list price on this cat is about 700 grand, so it needs to be as fine a finish as it can. The boat we toured here is the owner's version, so while the port hull has 2 matching bedrooms with matching bathrooms with showers, the starboard hull is a bed in the aft section and a massive head in the forward end of the hull. The middle section looks like it was made to be something like a small office to work from home if you need to do that. For big cat customers, this is a beautiful boat. With a direct competition from Lagoon / Beneteau, it would be a hard decision to make. Lagoon has made some 6,000 cats, where Leopard started late and only has built about half that. On one hand, the Lagoon doesn't have the rooftop lounge seating area. It doesn't have the front door leading outside to the trampolines. It doesn't have the mast kept forward and huge mainsail. But it also doesn't have the horror stories of delamination and dry fiberglass spots in the hull, or parts that are made out of just resin and gel coat with no glass at all. Choosing between the Lagoon 42 and the Leopard 42 would be a tough decision in the $700,000 catamaran price bracket. If you've had to make that decision, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let everyone know what tipped the scales one way or another for you.